Like to call the meeting to order. Mrs. Burns, roll call, please. No.
Mr. Sullivan?
Present.
Mrs. Hallenbeck?
Present.
Mr. Allen?
Present.
Mrs. Marshall?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Sporny?
Here.
And Mrs. Walbeezer?
Here.
We have a quorum.
The board met in executive session this evening before tonight's meeting to discuss matters related to labor negotiations, safety, and security matters. Mrs. Burns, any announcements?
No announcements.
Mr. Torrente?
Yes, thank you. I know there's a lot of people here tonight, so I'm just going to read the rules for public comment with respect to these board meetings. So it's coming right out of the Sunshine Act and the district policies. Okay? Speakers will be called to the podium in the following order. Residents and taxpayers of the Neshaminy School District who wish to speak on agenda items. Residents and taxpayers of the Neshaminy School District who wish to speak on non-agenda items. And employees of the Neshaminy School District who wish to speak on agenda items. Any additional topic or comment by a non-resident or person who does not pay Neshaminy School District taxes may be presented to the board in written form in accordance with board policy 900, and that may be submitted to the superintendent's office by mail or email. So those are the rules right out of the policy. So I reviewed the people that are signed up, and it looks like they're all residents. There's 4 people. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Torrente. Mr. Bowman, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Congratulations to Carl Sandberg, middle school physical education teacher Donna Farrow, who has just been selected as a middle school. She here? She here? Yeah, there she is. Who has just been selected as the Teacher of the Year by Southeastern Pennsylvania District of the Society of Health and Physical Educators. This annual award celebrates innovative teaching methods, enthusiasm and love for education, hard work, and perseverance. Anybody who has had the good fortune to work with Ms. Farrow, or has been one of the thousands of students in her classes since she started teaching in Sarahburg in 1997, knows that she is a shining example of what every one of those qualities. As a bonus, Ms. Farrow is a Neshaminy High School graduate. I did go to school with Ms. Farrow, and I just want to point out she is older than me. She will receive her award at a ceremony in May and is automatically nominated for the State Teacher of the Year award as well. Congratulations. Also, congratulations to 3 Neshaminy High School journalism students, Jackson Kim, Elena Clark, and Ryan Hartman, who represented Neshaminy High School at the Pennsylvania School Press Association State Journalism Finals held at Penn State University. They qualified for the state finals after competing in a regional round at Temple University back in December. At the state level, Elena and Ryan each took home 4th place awards in writing categories, and Jackson earned gold in the literary magazine artwork category, making him a state champion. Congratulations to those 3. And earlier this month, we enjoyed another successful STEAM Expo at the high school. As usual, the building was packed with hundreds of elementary and middle school students and their families who visited dozens of exhibits, games, and crafts set up by our high school science, technology, and art students. And faculty, community, and educational institutions, local businesses, and first responders as well. I thank all of them for taking their time, talent, and energy to work and inspire the next generation. I would like to thank Mr. David Jeanette for his efforts organizing and growing this event over the past 10 years, up to his retirement this past March. Thank you to Mr. Brian Suter and Ms. Melissa Campbell, who stepped up to continue this work and pulled off another great expo this year. And finally, a couple weeks ago, I had the pleasure of meeting 3 representatives from 2 giant supermarkets in our area who came to district office to present a ceremonial check in the amount of $11,658.95 from their Feeding School Kids campaign. During this campaign, customers at the stores had the option to round up their purchases to the nearest dollar, with the cumulative difference going toward the donation. The money will be used to supplement food pantries in our schools and other efforts to ensure that no Neshaminy student goes hungry. I thank Giant Supermarket and their customers for this important campaign. And that is all I have, Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Rowan. Brings us to the first public comment period. Mrs. Burns?
Jacqueline Hicks.
Hold it the whole time? Or it's good.
Please state your name.
My name's Jacqueline
where you
Hicks.
reside, and your occupation, and you have 3
I'm a
minutes. I'll
business
start.
owner in Bucks County,
Okay.
and my son does go to Neshaminy High School. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I was just asked to bring this topic up. I was here just in support. Like I said, my son does go to Neshaminy High School as well. There was an incident that happened March 26th during a high school baseball game. I'm reading this on behalf of the father of the son that this happened to. On March 26th, during a high school baseball game between Neshaminy and Bensalem, something unacceptable happened. A student athlete from Bensalem, the only black player on his team, was called the N-word multiple times while at bat. The slur came from the direction of the Neshaminy dugout. This wasn't hearsay, this was captured on live stream video. In the footage, the moment the player heard the slur is unmistakable. He turns and looks directly towards the Neshaminy side, visibly shocked. Equally disturbing was what to follow, or rather what didn't follow. There were several adults, coaches, present in the dugout, and yet no one stepped in to address what had happened. No one intervened, no one acknowledged it, no one attempted to de-escalate or even check in with the student targeted by the slur. After the game, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this because if this was my son, After the game, when Bensalem coaches brought the issue to the attention of the Neshaminy staff, they were told that the players were hallucinating. One respondent was given that, and he quotes, "If you want to make up lies, we will too." That was the response. And since then, nearly a month has passed. Still there has been nothing, no public acknowledgement, no accountability, and no action communicated. So tonight, I come before you with 2 simple but urgent questions. What is the district's official stance on the use of racial slurs and hate speech by students? And what, if any, has been done in response to this incident that took place on March 26th and is documented on video? Okay, he also says that these questions deserve answers, which they do, not only for the young men were the young man that was targeted, but for every student, athlete, and family that proudly wears the Neshaminy name. Okay, hold on 1 second. And he goes on to say that our kids and community are watching. We owe it to every young person on and off the field that ensures that our schools and sports programs are safe, respectful, and inclusive for all. Thank you.
Tim Locke. Tim Locke.
State your name, your
My
occupation.
name's Tim Locke. I'm retired. It's none of your business. I live in Levittown.
You've been retired for years.
I'm also here regarding the same incident. I've watched video after video from both sides. I have no skin in the game. I know 2 families from Bensalem. I know 1 family from Neshaminy. I can honestly say I did not hear it, not that it wasn't said. I don't know. I did not hear it being said. But what baffles me is I watched video after video, and I never saw an umpire flinch, a Bensalem coach flinch, or anyone else in the infield flinch. I mean, if I was a school bus driver for 7 years, if one word is going to trigger you, it's that word, more than the F word, or, in my opinion. So all I'm asking is, if it was really said, how did an umpire that was right there, third base coach for Bensalem right there, never even flinched? That would trigger me. I don't care if it was my kid or not.
Have you ever been called that?
I think I have the floor, right? Do I have the floor? So that's my only concern, Thank you.
Lance Sagers.
Good evening, Board. Lance Segers, 98 Queen Lily. I just wanted to bring the Board's attention. I know the first time I came up here and spoke many months ago, we discussed, or I at least discussed, where we were going with properties with Neshaminy High School, properties that we all own as a district, and what we would do with those in the future. To update you guys on what Middletown Township Supervisors have been doing, they've just allowed Wood Services to have an overlay of about 114 acres, in which they can put 90% of the 114 acres as residences. That should be scary to everybody on this board, considering the capacity study that we all at committee saw in regards to where our student enrollment's going. I am still going to continue to beat the drum on what we are doing in the future as far as with some of these properties that may become dilapidated and who we sell it to and what those guidelines are of what we're going to be doing and having more taxpayer involvement in regards to some of those decisions because our students and our kids depend on us making appropriate decisions if our supervisors aren't going to. All right, thank you, Board.
Amy, I think it's Schnaufler.
State your name, where you live, and occupation. Make sure you push the red button there.
There we go.
There.
Can you hear me now? Okay. My name is Amy Schnaufer. I am a parent of one of the children being affected by the redistricting for the elementary schools. I come here tonight as the parent to one of the 15 third graders at Joseph Furtibar Elementary School being affected by the redistricting. My daughter Charlotte is one of 15 students at Joseph Furtibar being sent to Tewanka for her final year of elementary school. Let me repeat that. 15 kids just from our school that are being taken from Furtibar to Tewanka for their final year. I'm here today out of concern with 36 school days left and almost 78% completion of the 2024-2025 school year. September 18th was the last correspondence that we received from the district in regards to our kids' big move to the new school. September 24th, I had a conversation with Mr. Meehan, who was fantastic on the phone. I felt as if he knew what I was talking about because his own kids had gone through the same exact redistricting years ago. There has been no transitional plan when we have less than 37 school days left. These young kids finally became the upperclassmen and are familiar with the school and where everything is located. Classrooms, the school nurse, bathrooms, hallways, lunchrooms, libraries, school offices, and even the playgrounds and blacktop. These are everyday items that children learn where they are and find a comfort in knowing they know their way around school. Other school districts, example, Council Rock, has allowed third graders to finish at their original school. There were attendance exceptions. There has been no days set aside that these children have been given the opportunity to navigate and visit the new school during this school year. Why are we waiting for the summer? People and families work and are away during the summer months, and the first day of school for the 2025-2026 school year is August 28th. Transitional plans for these children, some with IEPs. There are tons of changes for these kids, from classrooms to changing bus drivers and routes and new faces. We have had the same bus driver, Miss Dot, bus number 58, since we began our tenure here in the Neshaminy School District. She makes them feel safe even though there are no seatbelts. That's an issue with my kids. Kids in elementary school look forward to the fourth grade festivities with their friends, yearbooks, dances, picnics, and school events such as trunk or treats, holiday shop, paint nights, fall fest, the list goes on and on. All of these events fill the year with special memories for these kids, and there will be pages in the yearbook of them, both past and present, just at separate schools. Principals should be the voice for these kids and us, their parents. They are that parental figure for them, and they should have their best interest when advocating for these kids. Oh, sorry. Can I keep going? I'm almost done. There is no one being the voice for these kids, and if this was happening, they should have allowed these kids to make the move this year rather than this upcoming year for their final year. 2 big transitional years are not fair for these kids. They're going to move this year to Tawanka and then again the following year to Pequessing. Finding the gym, library, and all of those places, it's a lot to put on the shoulders of these kids who have been uprooted to navigate their way through a brand new school. We are going from 4 fourth grade classrooms in our school to 3, with rumor have it, with one of our teachers retiring this year. We are moving to 7 fourth grade classrooms. I have no doubt that Tawanka is a great school. I've spoken with Mr. Palmer in depth. We wanted our children to go there when the first redistricting happened back in 2016. We have been dealing with rumors of the transition since my oldest was in kindergarten, and he's currently a sophomore in high school. If parents don't agree with the move, what are the options for these kids? They deserve to have every option at their disposal. Thank you for your time.
No further sign-ups.
That brings us to the two routine matters. I'd like to make a master motion to approve item 2.01 minutes, 2.02 treasurer's report, 2.03 check register and procurement card purchases, 2.04 budget transfers, 2.05 bids, 2.06 investments, and 2.07 exonerations. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Brochus. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Personnel Administrative. I'd like to make a master motion to approve item 3.01, retirements, resignations, and end of assignments. And that's it. And there's one person on that, Mr. John Anicone, with 15.6 years. Motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Hollenbeck. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Personnel certificated. I'd like to make a master motion to approve item 4.01, retirements, resignations, and end of assignments, 4.02, appointments, 4.03, leaves of absence, 4.04, revised leaves of absence, 4.05, co-curricular appointments, 4.06, ancillary appointments, summer stock, and that's it. There's a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. You want to, yeah. Mrs. Hollenbeck, any comments or questions?
Yes, Mr. Sullivan, I would just like to point out for 4.01, I would like to thank the following people for their service. Over 30 years of experience for the people that I'm about to name. Russell Boop, 30.8 years. Carol Curtin, 33.8 years. Mary Solinsky.
Quickly.
Thank you. 34.4 years. Stacy Flavel Boop, 31.8 years. Alicia Luba, 31.8 years. James Dukook, 33.6 years. And
Those two
Christine,
names. I say it.
I don't even want to say, 36.8 years. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for all of your hard work here at Neshaminy.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. I would like to make a correction on 3.01, retirements, resignations, and end of assignments. I said two names. There are one name. There's actually two names. Okay. That brings us to personnel support. Mrs. Hollenbeck.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'd like to make a master motion for personnel support. 5.01, retirements, resignations, end of assignments. 5.02, appointments. 5.03, leaves of absence. 5.04, revised leaves of absence. 5.05, ancillary appointments, and that's it.
We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Walbeezer. Any comments or questions? I would like to note that there's Nancy Fallon, who's retiring with 22.7 years, Mary Ellen Pulak with 24.8 years, and Mary Vaccaro with 26.5 years. I'd like to congratulate them and thank them for their service. Okay, we have a second. Any other comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Business Operations, Mrs. Hollenbeck.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'd like to make a master motion for business operations, 6.01 Sunday facility usage, and 6.02 lease agreement and MOU for Samuel Everett Elementary School and BCIU number 22.
We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Allen. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0. Educational Development, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'd like to make a master motion for 7.01, revised 24 through 2025 school calendar, 7.02 overnight trips, and 7.03 the 2025 summer programs.
We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Marshall and 2 or 3 others. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 9-0.
Just like to point out, the revised school calendar was approved, and the graduation date remains June 11th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. Brings us to policy. Mrs. Lafferty.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I'd like to make a motion, policy 8.01, second reading of policies 123, 204, 626, 907, 005, 103, 103.1, 104, 824, 705, 718, whereas the first reading of the policies listed below was completed at the March 25th, 2025 Public Works session, and whereas the board policies listed below are being recommended for a policy second reading and final adoption into the Neshaminy School District Policy Manual. Now therefore be it resolved that Neshaminy School Board of Directors review the policies listed below and recommend final adoption into the Neshaminy School District Policy Manual.
We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Brings us to the closing of the meeting. Anyone have any other board business? Okay. This brings us to the second public comment period. If anyone else has any comments, please approach the podium. State your name, your occupation, and where you reside.
Mary Ellen Pulak. I live in the Twin Oaks section of Levittown. I'm an employee with Albert Schweitzer Elementary School. I am retiring at the end of this year. It says that I'm only here 24.8, but I'm actually here 25.8. It was corrected, but it's not on the printed thing. I'll be here 26 years, 24.8 of them as an instructional assistant, 1 year as a 1.2 years as a playground aide at Fertibar, and I worked for a year as a sub when the district had their own subsystem. This has been a very, very difficult decision. I absolutely love what I do. I work in the general ed population now. I used to work in life skills, but now I work in the general ed population. I'm full-time, and I absolutely love everything I do. I work with small groups, helping them in interventions. I work with large groups. I go out to recess. I help at
lunch. I do morning duty, welcoming the children in every morning and saying goodbye to them every afternoon. And I understand that the district has limited the number of full-time aides, and that concerns me. That has always concerned me, and I've been here many times talking about it. I work in the general ed population. When I leave, my position will go to full-time in a special needs program. I agree that we need full-time people in special needs, in the special needs program, but we also need them in the general ed population. In this, I've seen people hired, brand new people hired as bus drivers as full-timers. We have aides who are working, some still in special needs, 20 years, and they're not full-time. Other districts, Ben Salem offers full-time to most instructional assistants. Pennsbury offers full-time to most instructional assistants, and so does Council Rock. We have, in my building, we have several wonderful part-time aides, and I'm worried that they're going to leave and go to a district nearby where they can get full-time benefits. They all get paid the same, but they can get full-time benefits right away. We don't give it to them. Unfortunately, the reason why we don't, probably, being a taxpayer, I understand, you figure we're not visible to the public. The public doesn't see what I do. The public sees what bus drivers do. And so the public is going to be more verbal about needing good bus drivers. I'm retiring, but I live here. My grandchildren go to school here. I'm not going to stop talking about how important it is to have some full-time aides in the classroom. Not every aide, but you should have more than 16 in the district. Thank you.
Okay. If no one else, that brings us to the board comment section. Any board comment?
Mr. Sullivan, I have a comment. I don't think I could probably be true to myself without pointing this out here. So I just want to go back to the retirements. You know, the district is as strong as all of our people, in my opinion. So we have 7 people with over 30 years retiring. That's really, that's a big one there. So I see that kind of going. So that's going to be a big one for us to kind of backfill all that. But I want to point out two people that are important to me. Personally. So Mary Quicklinski. So Miss Quicklinski is not going to go off retirement after 34 years and saying her name wrong. So Miss Quicklinski is an amazing person, is a huge personality, a huge force, and for better or worse, over the last 34.4 years has, I'm sure, advocated for so many people and so many families. And she's an amazing person. I want to point that out. She's a very great person, someone who I really enjoy. He's really funny, and a really great person. Another person on here, James Bakuch, Mr. Bakuch. Mr. Bakuch was my 6th grade teacher, potentially 33.6 years ago. Maybe his first year, I'm not quite sure, but at Poquessing. So Mr. Bakuch, probably for the last 33.6 years, has been welcoming students up the stairs from the office there at Poquessing. You go up the stairs and you go left down the whole long hallway. He's been a coach. He's a great math teacher. I've been in his house multiple times for Christmas sing-alongs, all part of the Neshaminy community of what makes us strong. So I think it's really important that we point these people out. So thank you, all these other names, but in particular, Ms. Quicklinski and Mr. Bakuch. Thank you.
Warnie? Anyone else? Mr. Allen?
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. I just wanted to speak on the STEAM Expo that I finally got back to. I've often find myself way out of town and not able to make it. But that particular expo going on in the school with the technology involved and the art and What I love about it as a board member is being able to kind of anonymously walk them out along and just kind of check out what's going on. And I love just asking the students to explain their displays and their experiments and what they're doing. And the things these children come up with, the gummy bears that were drowned in different liquids to see the absorption rate, the oobleck they made, the mag rail trains. I mean, it's just, it's one thing to see the teachers and some of the professionals that come and put on their displays, but I am more enthralled with what our children are doing and where their minds go and how they, bring that forward to present to the public. And I'm just amazed at that. I'm proud of it. I dragged my sister along. I made her appreciate it. But I just wanted to thank everyone involved with that, our students, our teachers, our staff, everyone who was involved. Thank you for a wonderful presentation yet another year. And again, thank you much.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Ms. Brochus?
Real quick, I just wanted to thank our bus drivers. Today is a School Bus Drivers Appreciation Day, and so we thank them for safely getting us to and from school, and making sure that our kids safely arrive where they need to go. And despite all of our road modifications, updates, bridges out, and repaving situations going on. So thank you guys for all you do.
If no one else, I'd like to just note the future meetings. The next meeting will be, yeah, we're done. We're closing the meeting. We're closing the meeting, yes. Excuse me?
Sir, we're moving on to the end of the meeting.
End of the meeting.
So there's opportunity for public comment if you're not a resident. I don't know what else to say to you, but public comment's over. There were 2 opportunities, so we're gonna move to the end of the meeting. So with that said, Marty.
I'm just wondering if any of the board had a comment. No comments?
No comment. The next meeting will be April 30th, the Business Operations Committee meeting in this room. And then May 6th, Educational Development. There's a public work session on May 13th and a public board meeting on May 27th. That being,
Sir, I just wanted to just say that real quick. We do respect everyone coming and making their statements this evening. We're not going to comment on what was said this evening. We will talk about it as a board, but we don't address when people come out. If you want to speak to the board on issues of relating to our committees, we welcome everyone to come out for that. And that you'll have interaction with the board and with the public at that time.
like to make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion, meeting's adjourned.